welcome to my channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about two important attributes that will help you to understand your Power BI reports in more detailed way. Those two are, the first attribute is report render timestamp. That is nothing but when did my report is rendered. The second one is the render by, who render my Power BI report. So these two attributes are actually works like a log in your Power BI report, and it will help you a lot to understand. Um, how fresh your data. So the main advantages of this two attributes are: one, you can track when did your latest data is published, or what is your how latest your data. Let's say you have a list of the jobs that are running in the back end, and you have a the uh, schedule of those jobs, right? And then if your report rendering time is fallen between your job schedule, then obviously there is a chance of getting your partial data, right? That is the one thing. Second thing is, sometimes whoever render the report, they might have the limited access to the your data set. Let's say there is a particular person render your report, but he is only having the access to Asia Pacific region. So that means whenever he render the report, he is only getting the data of Asia Pacific, right? And then the other regions data, definitely we will be missing. So that's called partial data. And even the partial data loads, that means if you render the report while the backend data refresh is happening, or backend database table is getting refreshed, right? During that time, if you're trying to refresh your Power BI report, what will happen? You may get the partial data. And also sometimes the backend team might be changing the formulas and republishing the data, so such scenarios, really these two columns will be very helpful. So you can see here, I just added those two columns in my dashboard. So where I prepared a sample report based out of the COVID data. So especially for the COVID data, it's very important these timestamps, right? So when is my report is rendered, and who rendered my report, right? Because minute to minute we get the updates from the system. How many cases increased, and how many cases, how many deaths are increased. I hope you still remember that live stats data, right, during the pandemic situation. In such scenarios, these two attributes are very important, right? So now let's get into the details how we can activate these two attributes in your existing Power BI dashboard. What I'm going to do first, I will delete these two attributes, okay? And then you can see here, I'm going to recreate from the scratch, right? So now I'm going to delete the same table from here, okay? So now my Power BI report is only having the one data set called country-wise latest COVID data. Now how we need to create that? First, we need to go to the, click on the table view. So table view, and then here go to the home tab, and then click on the transform data, right? So once the transform data, this window open, then go to the new source, click on the new source and click on the blank query. You can give a name to this blank query stating that report log. And here what you need to do, just you need to call the timestamp column. Okay, so date time dot local. Now this is the column. We're going to have it and close the brackets. Now you can see this is printed the current timestamp of your system. Now after that, convert, because it's not only one table, right? So we need to have a multiple columns. So along with the report render time, we also need the report render by, right? So now what I do to have those all the report log related columns, I will convert these results to table. That's it. So now I can give the name here, column name, report render time. So now after that, I just click simply close and apply. My table and my column is created now. Now it's loading to the my Power BI model, right? Now what I'll do here, I'm going to have a new measure, and then new measure name, I will give it report render by. And here you can give the username. So if you give the username, you will get it, the username get displayed with your domain and the NT login. If you select the principal name, it will show the email, your organization email ID of the user. Okay, but due to security reason, I am not selecting the user principal name for now. I'll use the username so that it will display my NT login and my domain name. Okay, so once I do that, just click enter. So now the new measure got created. So now I have the two columns got created in my report log table. Now go back to our report view and go back to summary. And here you can drag the one card. This is the card, and then what I'll do, so first I'll display the report render by, and then what I'll do, I will do some beautification here. I'll turn off the category label, so you can see the bottom right, report render by, that is a category label. I'll turn it off and I will add the title. Title is, I want to turn on the title, and I will enter the title name, report render by. Okay, so you can change the font of the title, whichever the color you want. You can do that here, and then go back to here, and then I'll change the font of my username. So maybe I don't require this much, so what I'll do, I'll put it minimum font. Okay, so that people can see it. Now what I'll do the same thing for the timestamp. Okay, what I'll do, I'll just copy this card and paste it again. So card is pasted. Now I'll go to here in the normal this data visual tab, and then I go here, delete this, and add the timestamp column. Now the timestamp column got added, and then here I go to the title and change the title, report render time stamp. So my two columns are ready now. So in case if you want to apply any background color or anything, you can go here on the format. Under that you can change the, go to general, and you can do the whatever the effects you want to apply. Now I want to copy the same two attributes information to other report, which is my detailed report. Here also I copy pasted. Now, so now what will happen whenever I just click on the refresh? Now you can see here the timestamp is loaded as 234. Now if I refresh this will change, right? So that's it. So now it's at 238. The timestamp is changed. Now if I take this screenshot and send it to anyone, they will understand, okay, so this person is render this report, and he render so and so time. Okay, so this is very important. Usually we keep this information in the bottom in my all my Power BI reports, like a small font in the corner. By looking at this information, I'll come to know, okay, whether the user is missing the latest changes, whether the user is refreshed the dashboard during the data load. I mean, I'll come to know all the, I mean, the basic troubleshoot will happen here itself by looking at these columns. Whether the whether it's a refresh issue or any technical issue, you'll come to know. Okay, so there are the different way that people will recommend to create these columns, but in my reports I use this method to create these two columns. Okay, so that's about this video. I'll see you in the next video with a different topic. Thank you.